Hey, good evening, Warriors. Dr. B here. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I want to talk about a really hot topic, something that I feel like a lot of men, more men nowadays, are struggling with than what we did, back in our granddad's age and times, which is really interesting, right? I mean, you think about that: depression, anxiety, testosterone levels, learning disabilities, autism. These things were just not a problem, 50 to 100 years ago. And so what's the difference? And so you got to look at our environment, you got to look at our lifestyle, because men are not just supposed to be just to get older and our testosterone plummet to lower levels. So today I want to give you some tips on some things that you can do to boost testosterone naturally with Warrior 40. Everything that we put together through the Warrior 40 challenge, through the nutrition, through the sleep and the stress reduction, the faith, the weight training, the kettlebell work, like all that kind of stuff is really built around strong men. And a strong man is a man with healthy testosterone. So a couple of things here I just want to go through as I kind of look down through my notes. Just how do we boost healthy testosterone? Number one is this myth that fat makes you fat. One of the greatest cons of all time was when medicine says, hey, men, stop eating fat, go low fat, high carbohydrates, your cholesterol's all out of whack, and so therefore you need to stop doing that. Well, cholesterol is the precursor for every single hormone in your body, including growth hormone and testosterone. So when you have low levels of cholesterol, you're going to have dangerously low testosterone levels, and you're going to have the testosterone of a baby kitten, which is not great. Okay, so healthy amounts of good healthy fats, things from like grass-fed beef and wild-caught fish and things like avocados and nuts and seeds, cooking your food in beef tallow, grass-fed healthy beef tallow. And someone's like, where the heck do I get beef tallow from? You can go to Costco right now and you can get really, really good high-quality beef tallow right now, and at the price that would be for one jar. Things like coconut oil. Fat does not make you fat. Medicine, I don't know why. I don't think I think it's public knowledge now, but the medical profession, like really 0 hours on functional nutrition. Now they may learn things like, protein disorders and different things like that from diseased populations. But when it comes to the functional well-being of an individual, the gut microbiome, like good quality things, like you've got those MDs here or there that kind of really go to a more functional side of things. But from a global standpoint, if you were to go to an MD and your cholesterol was high, they're probably going to tell you to eat low fat, stay away from meat, and take your cholesterol lowering drugs, which you could have worse advice when it comes to overall testosterone levels. So that's number one, healthy fats. High quality protein. We have to have more high quality protein, moderate amounts of fats and minimal amounts of complex carbohydrates. So if I was going to put together a diet for a man that needed to have healthy testosterone levels, lots of good healthy protein, wild-caught fish, wild game meat, grass-fed beef, cage-free, pasture-raised eggs, and eat the whole egg, for goodness sake. Like, the yolk is the best part. It's got all the omega-3 fatty acids in it. And also like liver and organ meats and things like that. So high quality amounts of protein, and I would actually even say 1 gram or 1.5 grams to even 2 grams in some instances, 1 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, per pound of body weight, right? So if you're a 200-pound guy, you should have about 200 to 250 grams of protein a day. If it's in that is in carbohydrates, or triple that, like, you're gonna have a really big problem. So taking away as we kind of move down into here, what are things that absolutely destroy your testosterone? We talked about low-fat diet, and that a low-fat diet means a high complex carbohydrate, which means a high sugar diet. So sugar will literally destroy your testosterone levels, your growth hormone levels. Listen, I say this, in all seriousness, but and also gently. Grow up. Like, when you're a man, eating Fruity Pebbles and living off of pop and Mountain Dew and stuff like that. Like, We know it's not good for us. We know it causes disease and cancer, and that's all been proven. Like, drink water, drink and eat things that are going to fuel your body. Sugar, Snickers bars, Reese cups. I mean, yes. I mean, if you happen to stumble across something like that every once in a while, it's in the back of your pantry, fine. But when your diet is you're living off of sugar, we gotta clean it up a little bit. According to the American Diabetes Association, type 2 diabetes are twice as likely to develop in low T levels. That's because your hormones are out of whack and your body's ability to regulate insulin goes down. So individuals with type 2 diabetes, their testosterone levels are basically are not there. Sex drive goes down, sleep goes down, and overall tissue repair goes down because of that. Staying away from refined grains. Grains are just something that are not great. They're inflammatory. They're going to have higher amounts of complex carbohydrates and therefore inflammation. Yeah, the big thing right now is like a sourdough bread. Having a piece of sourdough bread every once in a while is not going to kill you. But at the same time, we shouldn't live off of sourdough bread. We should be living off of high quality meats, lots of healthy fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and good healthy oils. Every once in a while, if you want to have an egg sandwich or dip your sourdough bread with some good grass-fed butter and some dippy eggs, like, knock yourself out. But we shouldn't be living off of it. Some supplements and stuff to consider: vitamin D, vitamin D3 levels. Vitamin D levels are crucial. They actually find that men that have lower vitamin D levels have lower amounts of testosterone, which is interesting because, get this, in order for vitamin D or to be converted into your body into vitamin D3, vitamin D from the sun actually has to penetrate your skin, combine with cholesterol to be converted into vitamin D3. So if you're on a cholesterol-lowering drug, your vitamin D3 levels, therefore your immune system and your testosterone, are going to be plummeted. I literally have individuals in here that have such low cholesterol, and they think it's great, but it's actually really bad for a man to have that dangerously low cholesterol because your hormones are out of whack, and we're getting a lot of cancers and different things like that. Things like ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb that really allows the body to deal better with stress and cortisol levels. The American Journal of Men's Health found that ashwagandha, like taken in an 8-week period, there's like a 15% greater increase in testosterone levels. So ashwagandha is something naturally to begin to take. And then glutamine. Glutamine is great because for the gut and a microbiome, or a gut that's destroyed and not having a good healthy microbiome, you're not able to absorb a lot of the nutrients. Your growth hormone, your testosterone levels are going to go down naturally. So L-glutamine is a great way to help the gut lining begin to heal. So, why is L-glutamine important? Obviously, it's an amino acid, but it also is helpful for the gut lining. Individuals with gut problems have testosterone issues. Another cheat code for testosterone is intermittent fasting. A lot of research on this. Individuals that intermittent fast, they eat in an 8-hour window and they have a 16-hour window of fasting, have higher amounts of testosterone levels. Individuals or cultures that eat less, that fast more, but eat lots of good animal protein, quality foods, and stay away from complex carbohydrates and sugars, they have higher amounts of testosterone. When you think of the Maasai tribe in Africa, when they measure the testosterone levels of some of these hunter and gatherer tribes, it's crazy. Individuals in their 70s, 80s years old that have testosterone over 1,000. They grow up hunting and killing and providing for their families and running around, and it's a tough way of life, but it's kind of being a man. And so they're not sitting all day. They're not watching The Office, drinking Diet Mountain Dew, waiting on their TRT shots, right? I mean, it's not a great thing. One thing that I think that we don't really do a great job of anymore because we're not really healthy enough to do it is heavier weight training. Individuals that lift heavier weights. I mean, back in the day, our grandfathers were out in the field. They were lifting things. They were plowing the fields. They were doing work. I mean, their hands were, just crazy beat down. And so research is showing that individuals that are doing heavier loads of training and weight training have higher amounts of testosterone. So, AKA, hey, what do you do for exercise? Well, I like to go for walks. Well, probably not going to boost your testosterone. Am I saying that walks are bad? No, but you might want to actually get in some heavier weight training sessions, pushing heavier loads, and maybe heavier loads for you might be different than heavier loads for me. But we've got to push our bodies a little bit. We got to slow down, push a little bit heavier weight, boost our testosterone. I mean, one of the greatest testosterone boosting exercises of all time is cutting wood, like chopping wood, right? I mean, as a man who doesn't like to chop wood, the gratification of chopping it, stacking it, I mean, it's work. Getting on a treadmill, watching Oprah will not boost your testosterone, right? Getting outside, chopping wood, and and doing dude stuff and providing for our family, it does something to our mind. There's a sense of gratification there, and it's work. Lifting heavy rocks, lifting heavy loads, like sandbags and deadlifting and squatting. Those are all things that are going to boost testosterone. The other thing is just stress reduction, making sure we're getting plenty of sleep. One of the best ways that you can detox and boost testosterone is getting plenty of sleep. And then also getting plenty of sun. I want to touch on this a little bit because the sun has been called the devil. Listen, the sun doesn't give you skin cancer. It's the stuff that you put on your skin to prevent a sunburn that gives you skin cancer, okay? I don't do sunscreen. I hate whenever my kids, we don't do a lot of sunscreen. I hate sun shirts. The sun's not going to kill you. Now, obviously, you don't want to sit outside and get burnt to a crisp, but the sun's not going to give you skin cancer. It's the actual chemicals that you're putting on your skin, and when your skin is burnt, that causes the melanoma. So stop using the tanning bed, stop being outside and putting toxic sunscreen on, and allow your body to get some sun and allow those vitamin D3 levels in your body to do that. Anyway, that's what I got. I know I talked about a lot tonight, but I just know that a lot of men are struggling, and the goal is for a lot of guys, like, hey, what can I take? I just had a guy ask me, hey, so what can I do about testosterone levels? What should I do? TRT? I'm not big on TRT. I think that when you inject something like that artificially into your body, you're not fixing the root cause of it. You're just basically tricking your body into thinking you have something. A great example of this is in a lot of instances, the analogy I like to use is when somebody has a hard time having a child, right? And so they'll do in vitro fertilization or something like that. When a mommy's body that is obviously supposed to be able to give birth to a child, that's what God created women to do, and they can't have a child, and there's a reason for that. There's interference somewhere. There's something going on in the system that's not allowing it to happen. It could be a toxicity issue, and the body's like, listen, I'm not fit to be able to handle a child. And so when you inject something or you do something outside of the natural order, sometimes there can be issues, with the child. There can be issues with just, that process when you begin to force that. Same thing with TRT, right? If I've got a man who has the testosterone of a baby kitten, and then I give them TRT injections, like I could actually create some pretty serious problems within the body. So I know they're handing that stuff out like candy. I personally think it's cheating. They can just give that stuff out, and you see guys online that just are jacked and they don't even really need it. There's a lot of things that we can be doing before we ever go into that route. And am I saying that you should never, do anything outside in? I'm not responsible for you and your health. I'm only a guide. I've been doing this for 12 to 15 years and consider myself an expert in physiology and nutrition and anatomy and things like that. And we've been leading thousands of patients off medications and really just, healthy as can be. And so I've been doing this for a while, but I'm not controlling your health. That's your responsibility. You got to take the steps to do it. But hopefully you learned something tonight. If you're out there and you're like, hey, I need a nutrition process, I need a detoxification process, I need a weightlifting program, I need healing, I need spiritual connection, I need brotherhood, go to warrior40challenge.com, take the 40-day challenge. You're not going to be disappointed. Like literally we got guys they've lost 40, 50 pounds in like 50 days. Like it's just crazy stuff. Awesome. It's not crazy because it's what happens when you put the pedal to the metal and you put your head down and you grind and you do the right things and you're doing it for the right reasons. And for a lot of men, if you're a dad or you're a father or you're a grandfather, it's not about you. It's not about how you feel, but you got grandkids, you got kids at home that need you to step up and be a healthier leader. They don't need to be going to your funeral early. So warrior40challenge.com, take the 40-day challenge. If you're local, come stop by Warrior 3 Farms and go to our social media page, click on the QR code, $25. Come do the Murph with us this Saturday. It's going to be great. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff to do. Live, lead, and love strong today, gentlemen. See you.